Hello again and welcome back. We're going to continue talking about React Native. In the previous video, we created this list of animals here and we included their features and the rating for each feature in this column here. So we have it on the right side and the name is on the left. And there was a couple other things we wanted to tackle. So one of them was to display the rating as a number of stars. Okay. And then there was another one too where we wanted to get the average rating here and put it up next to the name. Okay, so let's give that a try, right? So first of all, let's go to the feature component here, and that's responsible for displaying one row. Okay, so that's the one row here. And we have a value here, and this should be an integer that is a number, from 1 to 5. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to turn that number into a number of stars. Okay, and there's a couple ways that you could do this. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm trying to think of all the different ways to do this, right? Probably the easiest way or the most straightforward way is to use a for loop, right? So let's try that. I'm going to make a new string first. So I'm going to say let stars equal to the empty string. So there's no stars in the string. So, ideally, like I want to have, some stars in there, and then we'll just display that over here, right? So now we have to decide how many stars go in there, right? So I'll use a for loop and I'll say let I equal 0. Let's count while I is less than our value. And then let's add 1 to I with each loop, okay? And now that we're looping over this a number of times equal to value, with each loop we can append a star, okay? So we can put a star in here. So if I put, the star there, we'll get the emoji star in a moment. We can display the stars over here. Hey, that looks pretty good, right? So that was not hard to do. Let's get the emoji star though. I think the emoji star will be more fun. I'm going to go to the menu here and get emojis and symbols and choose the star there. Hey, that doesn't look half bad. So so that's pretty good, right? So that got us started. So we're just going to loop over this thing and get the number of stars. We could almost turn this into a component, like put this work into a component and then just put the stars component here. I'll leave that up to you. If this gets any more complicated with the stars, I would do that. It'd just be easier, and then it would give you the opportunity to use that stars component in a lot more places. It seems like the kind of thing that would be useful, right? So anyway, so we've got that. Let's talk about showing the average value, right? So what if we gave each animal like an average number, like an average rating, right? So to do that, we need to average the values from our data. Okay, so right now we have an object that has the values in it, and then we have these keys, right? So and then we've also filtered out the breed key, right? So we used filter.keys to get, or filter key to get to remove everything but breed, right? So let's use reduce. Let's see here. Let's do const average equals, and we'll do keys dot reduce. And now this is a little weird because the keys actually don't have the values we want. The values are in the data, but the data is an object, so we can't reduce it, right? So we need an array. So we're gonna do we're going to put our reducer function here, and then after that we're going to put the starting value. So in this case, since this is an array of strings and we want to reduce to a number, we have to include the starting value at the end. Okay, so right here, let's get our accumulator. So that should be the key. And then what else do we want here? Oh, no, the accumulator should be the number. And then the second value right here is the key. There we go, right? So that makes sense, right? And now let's go about getting our average value. So let's say we want to return the accumulator plus the data bracket key, right? I think that's what we want, right? So that should give us the total rating. And now when we're done, we want to divide it by the total, by the number of keys that we have to get the average, right? So let's do keys.length here. Okay, so now we should have the average. Let's see if we can display it. Maybe I'll put it here next to the breed name. So put the average there and see what it says. Oh, 4.33333, 4.666, whatever. So that doesn't look too bad, but I think what we want to do is we want to, round it off to the nearest whole number, right? So, we could do that here, but it might be cleaner to do it up here. Why don't we, I'm going to wrap all this in the parentheses, so we do all of this stuff first, and then when we're done, I'm going to say to fixed, and let's do to fixed 1 decimal place. Hey, that looks pretty good. So we got American curl is 4.3, American short hair 3.4, wire hair 3.8. Now again, these numbers are a little bit arbitrary because some animals have more properties than others and some are missing some properties, right? So the list on some animals is longer or shorter, right? So, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that that was interesting for you. And, your challenge now is to continue with the things that we just did and you apply your own styles and your own ideas. If you get the cat list working, switch it over to dogs and see if you can get the dog list working. And that actually shouldn't be too hard because you can just import the dogs like this and replace the cats in the data in the flat list for dogs, right? And there's our dogs. And you can see the dogs have a lot more ratings, right? So the Affenpinscher is 2.9, right? But it has like all these things, right? Like all of this is just that first dog. So the dogs have like a lot of features. Afghan Hound, right? Airedale Terrier, 3.4. Akita 3.2. These are very interesting information, right? So you can make like a product out of this, right? But anyway, so try and get the dogs working and see, maybe, think about the styles on the dogs. They have so much more information. Maybe we got to rearrange how we style it here, okay? So that's my challenge to you. Keep working on that. And then we'll continue in our next video, okay?